Let's discuss this and more with the senior economic advisor to Senator McCain, Douglas Holtz-Eakin. He's joining us now live. Doug, thanks very much for coming in. I'll play this very little clip for you, and then we'll talk about this and more. Listen to this.
I would certainly consider any position for John McCain where I thought he was going to be the best person for our country.
When you heard that, and I hope you heard the interview, what did you think?
Well, it was one of many astonishing things that Barack Obama said. I mean, quite frankly, I was amazed to hear him say, you know, I'd consider a corporation tax cut. It has some merit. I mean, he has spent this campaign brutally attacking John McCain's proposal to cut the corporate rate to 25%, keep good American jobs here in the United States and not send them to India, China, and Ireland. It's simply astonishing. You know, I was equally surprised that he said his top priority was going to be to fix the plumbing of the capitalist system. I mean, we learned from a real plumber that his basic instincts have nothing to do with capitalist systems. His basic instinct is, let's take someone's paycheck and let Barack Obama decide who gets the money in America. Those aren't the kinds of things that are going to be successful in America. We need to go back to the basics, give people a chance to get a job, build a life, save for college, save for a home, and live on the fruits of their own labors. And that's what John McCain's running on.
Because as you probably know, as you heard me when I pressed him on that our notion of increasing the corporate tax rate, he said he's never even considered such a thing. And he did, as you point out, say he'd be open to cutting it in order to try to stimulate the economy somewhat. So you're saying that's news as far as you're concerned?
Well, it means he's finally learning how the economy works. I mean, you know, this has been painful to watch, quite frankly. His basic proposals, especially to raise taxes. I mean, I have a PhD from Princeton. You don't need a PhD in economics to know that to raise taxes right now in this economy is a terrible idea. And there are third-party studies we've seen this week saying Barack Obama's basic plans would cost 6 million jobs over the next 10 years. That's the way to turn a downturn into a disaster. If you can learn about the corporate rate cut, he should also learn about you don't raise capital gains taxes when the stock market's heading south more than north. You don't raise taxes on the small businesses that create 70% of jobs, and in 2008 have created 330,000 jobs.
But he did point out that
this is a revelation.
He did point out that even Warren Buffett said to him to raise the capital gains tax from 15 to 20% for those making more than $250,000 a year would not necessarily hurt the economy.
Well, I'm glad that he went and called a friend and got that. I think if you're going to develop economic policies, you should look at the record, and the record's very clear on tax policy and recessions. You can go back to the Great Depression. The lessons there are: do not raise barriers to trade, do not raise taxes in a recession. Barack Obama is proposing to do exactly those two things. Learn the lessons of history and then make your policy decisions.
I wonder, you know, what Senator McCain, maybe you'd have an answer, because when I asked Senator Obama if he would consider, at least one of the, consider bringing Senator McCain into his administration if he wins the White House. Actually, a viewer, one of our reporters, asked that question. He said, yeah, he'd consider him. I wonder if Senator McCain, if he wins on Tuesday, would consider a role for Senator Obama in a McCain administration. What do you think the answer to that would be, Doug?
I think the answer would be, quite frankly, that John McCain is interested in solving this nation's problems. He's interested in solving the financial problem by helping homeowners stay in their homes. He's interested in getting this economy going in the right direction. He's interested in winning the two wars that we're fighting right now. If there's a role for Barack Obama, inside or outside this administration, to constructively contribute to meeting America's needs, then he'd be welcome.
Douglas Holtz-Eakin, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it very much.